I think I figured out a way that I can send you a quick video about the next assignment. Um, I guess I'll find out after I'm finished recording if this works or not. I'm using QuickTime, which I've never done, so I don't have the ability to, to show a video alongside of the screen. But the screen is the most important thing anyway to have a look at. So by now, you may have seen that I posted the groups, and there are 10 groups in the class with 4 people in each group, which works out quite perfectly. I don't think there's any with 5. I'm pretty sure I looked through and there was groups of 4, so that's good. So for the next month, you will be working with your group on this open textbook supplement assignment. I don't think that this is an overwhelming assignment by any stretch, especially with 4 people working on the research and the content. But I changed some of the criteria slightly from when I had originally posted the assignment. So I want to point out what is different. First of all, what you're doing in essence is you are writing as if it is a supplement specific to library and information sciences research to a particular chapter from one of these 2 sources. If you look at the sources, you can see that they're quite different from each other in the way that they're structured. The Blackstone one is a bit more informal with exercises, key activities, discussion questions attached to it, whereas the Chatterjee textbook is more of a traditional content-heavy textbook. So you can maybe first, with your group, want to choose a topic, a chapter, and then secondly, to decide which format you feel most comfortable with. The list of chapters are included on the assignment details. And the reason that it's only these chapters is because the rest of the chapters in both sources are more generic in nature, whereas these ones offer the opportunity to customize it according to a particular discipline. What is different from when you may have first looked at the assignment is that you can choose whichever chapter you want. There is no need to sign up, and I don't care if there's duplication. So in other words, if all 10 groups end up doing experimental research, chapter 10, that's fine by me, because there's not really any point to everybody choosing a different one, because we're not actually going to be publishing this or doing anything with it. So you can pick whichever one that you're comfortable with. What I would advise you to do maybe with your group is to each person pick the top 2, maybe 3 choices, rank them. I want to do chapter 9 interviews is my number 1 choice. Survey research chapter 9 in this book is my 2 choice, and interviews is my 3rd choice. And then look at each other's results, and whichever is the common denominator, that's how you can pick, because then everybody is relatively happy with the choice. How this will look is you're trying to write a chapter that is supplemental in nature to the chapter that's presented. So it's not like you're rewriting the chapter. You're just building on it, and you're building on it from the perspective and the context of LIS research. So you might be drawing on examples from other LIS textbooks or works that discuss research methods, or you might be referring to exemplar studies that have been undertaken using that particular method, or discussing or utilizing that particular subject that's from the chapter. And then you're writing that in about 4 pages, single-spaced, and then your 5th page, I guess, would be kind of like an appendix to that supplement chapter that presents the exemplar research papers, I guess, or research articles that have been conducted utilizing that particular method. So if you were doing chapter 10 field research, you would want to look for maybe three, four, five of the best articles that have utilized field research. And how will you know that they're the exceptional ones? One true sign is that that particular study has been cited over and over and over again. Now, we know that sometimes a work is cited because it has been erroneous in nature and it is not a reputable paper. Think of Andrew Wakefield's article on MMR vaccine in the Lancet. It's been cited over and over again, but only within the context of it being incorrect and debunked research. So you want to make sure that it's good things that are being said about that particular study. So that would be one way that you can determine, just the number of times it's been cited or quoted or referred to in the literature. You might find reference to particular studies within other LIS textbook/encyclopedic works. And then I think there's just your own judgment as well. And, some of those studies might be fairly old. They're not necessarily brand new studies. And in fact, I'd encourage you to kind of look, through the last 20, 25 years of the literature to find the ones that have a bit of staying power, I guess, within the discipline. So that's pretty much what you're doing. And, you're kind of remember that it is a textbook, it's the principles of sociological inquiry. It's, principles, methods, and practices. So it's pretty, at a pretty, how shall I say, it's meant to be teaching the reader, you're imparting information that hopefully gives the reader a broader and a better understanding of that particular topic. So you're teaching it essentially. So again, you can choose whichever chapter that resonates with your group, and then just note some of the other details about the assignment and the type of references that you need. I think the one thing I do need to change is highlight 3 or more. Let's put that in. But the 5 relevant sources are part of the body of your paper where you're referring to perhaps other textbook sources, other journal articles that discuss the method in a general sense. Other things that are mentioning authors perhaps that have something to say or experts in that particular field, and you wish to quote them or refer to their work. I might do a little bit of changing with the rubric before you actually finish the paper, but I promise it won't be significant. I'm not going to add in a new section that you have to include or delete a section, but I might, work on this grading scheme a little bit more. It's a new assignment for me too, so it's kind of an exercise. I don't have an exemplar from previous years to follow. I wasn't given one, so I can't even tell you that. I just would encourage you just to follow the style and the tone of the work that you are supplementing from, and then I'm just really looking for for just really clear writing, cohesive statements, and really solid evidence that you've done your research on works within LIS and have used them appropriately. So that's all I'll say right now. I hope this recording works after all this, and please let me know if you have any questions as you go along. Thanks very much.